Hey Meep, what's going on, dude? There's work to be done and you're just sitting here, slacking off. Oh, I see. It's because your schedule's nothing but downtime. Welcome, my fellow duplicants, to Meep's Mandatory Recreation Pack. This is a brand new game update that just released that includes several new pieces of equipment. So as you can see here, there are many different pieces of equipment on display. The most obvious one here is the vertical wind tunnel. That's right next to a soda fountain. Very cool. Another piece of equipment here is the juicer. We've got ourselves a sauna, a beach chair, a mechanical surfboard, and a hot tub. And to top everything off here, we have ourselves the mother of all light bulbs, a sun lamp. So if you've noticed a consistent theme with all of these pieces of equipment here, they are all designed to give your dupes a morale boost. So while we used to be limited to the water cooler, the jukebox, arcade cabinet, or the espresso machine right here, we now have many more options to build into our rec rooms in order to boost our duplicates' morale. On top of all of this new equipment, there's a new mechanic in the game called Overjoyed Reactions. So the Overjoyed responses happens when the duplicants' morale is higher than their expectations, or it has a chance of happening. I've noticed it when I bring in another duplicant via the printing pod that there's a good chance that they might end up overjoyed. One such reaction might look something like this. But let's focus back on this equipment over here. Right now, Ashken is actually using the juicer. Now, the juicer is a pretty high-tier machine in that it requires the use of water, meal ice, bristleberry, and mushroom. And then they mix all of that together to make a delicious cup. Alright, so when looking at the juicer here, each time the duplicant uses it, it's going to reduce the amount of mushroom, bristleberry, meal ice, all of that by about 250 grams. Or at least that's what I've observed thus far. Another piece of equipment that includes a drinkable object here is the soda fountain right there. So as you can see, Joshua delivered a little bit of bottled carbon dioxide. That's really easy to get from the canister filler here. So we have a good reason for that. So there you go. Now he is soda filled. So that was good for a morale boost of +4. So by comparison, both of those right here are equal as far as their morale boost is concerned. And that is right in line with the espresso machine. Alright, when we start to look at some of these other pieces of equipment that the dupes can use, the mechanical surfboard comes in at 480 watts. It takes a little bit of water that goes in. I went ahead and put it on top of some mesh tile here, otherwise you'll end up with a big puddle down here. But as you can see, Jen right here is making use of the surfboard, and that will give her a morale boost of +2. There aren't any requirements as far as the temperature of the water that runs to this machine, so it's fairly straightforward. Another straightforward piece of equipment is the vertical wind tunnel here. Joshua is experiencing this one right now and is currently airborne. Now, as part of this update here, some of these pieces of equipment, while they are in use, are actually going to give a stress reduction while they're using them. So right now you can see Joshua is airborne, so it currently has a negative 15% per cycle reduction in stress while in use. Not only that, once you're actually done with the piece of equipment, you're going to have a morale boost. In this case, it's going to be windswept with a boost of 5 morale for a cycle. Although to run the vertical wind tunnel, you're going to need to supply 1,200 watts. That puts it on par with the arcade cabinet. Now, as far as I've seen, up to 3 duplicants can use the vertical wind tunnel at a time, which is actually more than what you can fit into the arcade cabinet. It's also a really big piece of equipment, so another change that's happened here is that they've increased the recreation room size up to 96 tiles. Now you can fit this nice big piece of equipment in there, and you can also fit more stuff in there, even though these pieces of equipment don't necessarily need to be in a rec room in order to work. Alright, so looking at the hot tub here, this thing's pretty cool. What it is doing is it actually brings in hot water. It has to be above 37 degrees Celsius. So in this case, I'm supplying water at the temperature of about 70 degrees Celsius. And what it's going to do here is it's actually going to cool down the water supply that's inside of here and then cycle it out as it gets cold. This can fit up to 4 duplicants inside of here. While they're inside of there, they're receiving a negative 15% stress per cycle. And once they complete their hot tub, they will actually have a morale boost of +5. Although you can see it takes a good long time. But there you go. Boom! The one thing about the hot tub that's kind of interesting here is that it has a very low overheat temperature. So you have to keep the atmosphere around it relatively cool. The water doesn't really seem to affect the piece of equipment's temperature that much. But as you can see, this is currently in an environment that's right around 0 degrees Celsius. And the hot tub itself is right around 11 degrees Celsius. So temperature management is an important thing when dealing with the hot tub. Power-wise, it's only 240 watts. Now the sauna is one hot piece of equipment. While in use, it gives you 10% per cycle and then a +2 morale bonus once you've completed right there. All you need to do is supply a bunch of steam to it, and then it's going to kick out water right there. So it's actually one way to condense steam into water. That's pretty cool. However, I haven't really found a great way to automate the delivery of steam to this. And that might be one potential issue that's facing this piece of equipment right now. Because if you don't have steam into the machine, right? Let's say we kind of do this number. We allow it to fill up its inventory, but we don't have steam in the pipe. It says empty pipe and therefore actually cannot use it. So maybe that's something that'll be adjusted. But for right now, you do need to have steam, and you need to have steam right here. So what that means is you're going to have to be kind of creative with how you actually get the steam to this piece of equipment, because it has to be present in the pipe right here in order for this machine to run. At least that's the way it's set up right now. So I think one possible solution to actually delivering steam to the sauna here is to deliver it to a loop like this that's maybe running through like an area that's hot enough to actually maintain the temperature of the steam if you don't have like really insulated stuff. You know, for example, if you have insulation, it's not going to be a problem. But right down here, you kind of have to keep that steam hot. Otherwise, it's going to condense inside the pipe. We'll see how it actually plays out here. The last piece of equipment that Camille is demonstrating here is the beach chair. Now, the beach chair is interesting because it depends on how much light you're actually casting onto this unit. Right now, we're at 6,666 lux right there, so it's well lit. So while Camille is on this chair, she's getting 2 bonuses at the moment. Totally Chill, which is good for plus 50% stamina per cycle, and minus 15% stress. So you can actually recover a little bit by just using this rather than using a bed to recover your stamina. Which makes me wonder if we could just have an entire base full of beach chairs rather than beds. Although the change per cycle right there is still negative 20% per cycle, so maybe not. And this brings us to our last new piece of equipment up here, the sun lamp, the mother of all light bulbs. What in the world do you get for 960 watts of illumination? Well, I got bad news for you, Shinebug. This bad boy is putting out up to 40,000 lux. By comparison, the sun during the daytime can put up to about 80,000 lux. So it's about half the brightness of the sun. However, the illumination falls off here. So you can see that we are 40,000 right next to it. However, once we get down a little bit further here, you can see that it drops down to 20,000, and then as we go down lower and lower and lower, it actually does drop down quite a bit. All right, Camille, how was this? Oh, yeah! Look at that. She got little shades and everything. Oh, and suntan lotion. Whoa! I like the music, too. This is fantastic. So according to the wiki page, if you're over 10,000 lux, your morale bonus for using the beach chair here will be +8. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. When you put them side by side, the canvas expands. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hold up. Let's set this up correctly. That's exactly what you want to do right there. Boom. All right, so in this setup right here, you can see that the lux in this area is 10,000 on all 3 of the center ones, or pretty darn close to it. So the duplicants should get the most bonus from these center 3. The ones on the end are going to have kind of a less bonus right here. So Meep's enjoying his time. He is getting the Totally Chill bonus right there, and should be left with a morale bonus of +5. However, if a duplicant ever actually uses the metal chair here, come on, dupes. All right, there we go. I had to add some dupes. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is the screenshot. All right, as far as these bonuses are concerned, the dupes in the center are still getting the same sort of stress modifier and the same sort of recovery. However, the morale bonus that's going to be gained here is going to be higher. So on top of that, the old equipment here, like the jukebox, still gives the duplicants a stress reduction as well. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so I listed off a lot of stuff. Here's how it all looks when you put it together. Your beach chair is your most valuable piece of equipment when it comes to morale, because you can get a bonus anywhere from +5 to +8, stress reduction, and a stamina increase. Behind that is the hot tub and the vertical wind tunnel, followed up by all of the drinkable stuff right there with a morale boost of up to +4. All of the other equipment comes in at +2 with a stress reduction of -10% while in use. And then of course we bottom out the list here with the humble water cooler. Alright, so if we take a look at the research for these pieces of equipment here, we have food repurposing right up here. That gets you the juicer. The sauna comes in with renewable energy. The hot tub is actually under the medicine line down here. The surfboard isn't too hard to achieve. It's actually just kind of a mid-tier item right there. Right next to liquids. In there with the oxalite refinery and molecular forge, you'll find the soda fountain. And then the massive sun lamp right here is right next to the window tiles. Boom. And then the very last thing we have here is the beach chair, which is a very high-end piece of decor. It's actually the highest end thing that you can research. 50 and 70. But it's totally worth it. Oh, hey, look! Oh, good, we got a new Overjoyed reaction here. This is the balloon artist. Who's the balloon artist? They're attaching balloons to other duplicants. Is that you, Camille? Balloon buddy. Oh, and look at this buff. Are you kidding me? +8 to creativity, science, cuisine, medicine, agricultural, and husbandry. Remaining 2 cycles. Woo! And bonuses like that seem to be different depending on what sort of overjoyed reaction you end up getting. So I think that is really cool. I love the new Overjoyed Reactions. It just adds a little bit of flavor to the game. Alright, so there's one thing that I was thinking about when I saw this sun lamp here is that I might be able to provide enough illumination to grow gas grass. Ooh, would you look at that? Sleeping. Too dark. Requires at least 20,000 lux. And right now this big bulb is putting out 10,000. This is gonna blow up my wires, but what happens if we do this? Boom! 20,000. Hey, at least we're growing one. Let's move it down a little bit. Only 10,000. You don't get up to 20,000 until you're right here. So if I place that right there, we then at least have enough lux for 3 gas grass. So very quickly, what if we compare that to just a ton of light bulbs? Well, all of that is good for 5,700 lux. No, I need more light. Well, I guess that's good news, my gassy moo. Even though it takes a ton of power, at least we can actually grow your grass somewhat artificially. At any rate, there you have it, Meep's mandatory recreation pack. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. I, for one, am a big fan of the new animations here. And I think some of these pieces of equipment are going to be quite fun to play with. Especially the big sun lamp, and I definitely will make use of the beach chair. Thanks for watching. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. As always, stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out.